Welcome to World Hopper trip number 1. On this trip I had the motivation to travel to the very far north of Europe for breakfast and then to continue straight to the very far south of Europe for breakfast there on the next day. I wanted to evoke this particular feeling of disbelief how it is possible to be in Athens when I had actually just been on the extreme other end of the continent only a couple of hours earlier. Also, it was my aim to experience how it feels to be in such a totally Nordic place. I flew on a Scandinavian Airlines Canadair regional jet to Stockholm. From there on a Scandinavian Airlines Airbus A320neo to Oslo. To continue on a Scandinavian Airlines Boeing 737-800 to Kirkenes, North Norway. The arrival there was at 8 p.m. under a dark but clear sky. As I had no checked baggage to wait for, it took no more than 2 minutes to reach the terminal exit after leaving the aircraft. A bus waited outside for people wishing to transfer to one of the hotels in the small town. As I needed to head back to the airport at 11 a.m. and my time on the next morning was limited, I ventured out into town early at 7 a.m. before taking breakfast in the hotel. The air felt so fresh and clean. Sun had just risen on a chilly day in fall. The central square was still deserted. Look at the playground, shaped like a king crab, for which the area is famous. Nearby was a short stretch, making the main commercial street. Again, a king crab made its appearance. Passing by some residence streets, I come to the church with my hotel situated to its left, sitting on the shore of a bay. Close by behind is the small port. Clearly, this is a base for crab boats, which is visible by lots of fishing equipment stored here. Walking back to the hotel, I enjoy the stunning view across the bay in the morning light. Then it is time for a very enjoyable breakfast with a fantastic view. With that part of the day already behind me, it is just a short while later that I find myself in the airport's small departures lounge, holding a boarding pass with final destination Athens, Greece in my hand. Another Scandinavian Airlines Airbus A320neo takes me back to Oslo. Where the journey continues on another Scandinavian Airlines Boeing 737-800 to Brussels. On takeoff from there to Athens, darkness has already fallen, and the day's travel ends on a midnight arrival on another Airbus A320neo, this time on board of Aegean Airlines. The taxi ride takes me through beautiful areas of the old city center, and I settle for some hours of sleep with this amazing view from my hotel room. It is now that I enjoy this absolutely crazy feeling that I was so looking forward to. How can I see Acropolis lit up brightly on top of the roofs of Athens on a day that began with a stroll through a crab fishing town situated at the Barents Sea? The next day, again, I have some morning hours in the city before departure back home in the early afternoon. I selected a hotel which features a rooftop terrace allowing for these amazing views. It is difficult to spot here, but in the background, the Mediterranean Sea is visible as a stark contrast to Barents Sea. I am heading into the streets to get some glimpses and impressions, and also to find some breakfast to buy. I end up at Athens Academy and the National Library to its left. There are plenty of street-side cafes, but inside a very appealing arcade, I find what I was looking for. Taking away some very nice pastry and some coffee, I head back through neighboring streets to the hotel. Back on the rooftop terrace, I enjoy my next breakfast with an amazing view, this time in Athens, Greece. Fast forward 2 hours, and it is already back inside the airport terminal. My booking for the day was on Swiss via Zurich, for which I had already checked in online. All passengers had to queue for their boarding passes at the airline's desk. To my big surprise, the agent handed me a boarding pass for an Aegean flight to Copenhagen, telling me that somehow I did not get accepted on Swiss. Well, departure and final destination arrival times were almost identical with my original booking, so I did not protest. I have been a passenger on well over 1,000 flights, but this particular situation was new also for me. But over the years, I had learned to be flexible. In the end, I got flown home. So, it was today one flight on another Aegean Airlines Airbus A320neo to Copenhagen, followed by the last flight for this trip on a Scandinavian Airlines ATR 72 turboprop.